I'm Christopher McFadden. I'm a candidate for the open seat in the Court of Appeals of Georgia. The election will be on your ballot on November 4th, and because there are 7 of us vying to succeed a retiring judge, there will be a runoff on December 2nd. Well, what is the Court of Appeals, and why should you care? Well, to answer that question, I'd like to ask you to imagine that you've got to go to court, to go to trial. And imagine that you draw a bad trial judge, a judge who says, "Don't tell me the law. This is my courtroom. I'm the law. And what are you going to do about it?" Well, in Georgia, the answer most of the time is the Court of Appeals of Georgia. We have a state Supreme Court, but that court handles a relatively small number of cases that for one reason or another have been deemed to be particularly important. Most of the time, it is up to the Court of Appeals of Georgia to assure that what we have in this state truly is the rule of law, that we have, as John Adams said at the time of the founding, government of laws and not of men. The Court of Appeals is, in short, the keystone of our justice system. And we know historically in Georgia what it's like not to have an appellate court. There was no appellate court until 1842, even though Georgia was one of the original 13 colonies. In arguing for the creation of a Court of Appeals, the governor in 1842 said, look, what we've got here is superior court judges, trial judges, who are each supreme in their own authority, appealable only from themselves to themselves, and reversing themselves at will. That's not law, the governor said. That's chance. It's miserable servitude. So that is what we have if we don't have an appellate court, and that's why the court plays a profoundly important function. And it performs that function under very heavy caseload pressure. The Court of Appeals of Georgia is arguably the busiest appellate court in the nation. By comparison, Florida has 60 appellate judges, 60-plus appellate judges, whereas Georgia has 12 for the entire state. They handle about 3 times the number of cases per judge that the American Bar Association and the National Center for State Courts recommend. So it's important that the next judge of that court be the best qualified candidate. In the next segment, I will explain to you why I am the best qualified candidate, or you could find that information on my webpage, which is McFaddenforAppealsCourt.com.